Hey everyone, it's your girl Tara Michelle. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel, Opinionated Scents, our safe space to discuss all things fragrance, whether we like them or not. Today we're discussing all things bergamot. So yes, this is another citrus note. This is described as lemon meets bitter orange. So in a lot of the fragrances that tout bergamot, you'll also see lemon or bitter orange. So it's hard to tell the difference between the two. Listen, not everybody has a nose like mine, and not everybody interprets or experiences perfumes the way that I do. The majority of people just like to smell good. So I am going to talk about these fragrances. Of course, they're on this list because they have the note of bergamot in them. However, if you are someone who cannot distinguish between a lemon or bergamot or a bitter orange and bergamot, but you know you like citruses, just focus on that. We don't have to make it difficult, and it doesn't have to be too involved for those who don't normally operate that way. If you are like me and you pick up on a lot of different things and you have experience with these fruits, then you'll interpret what I'm saying on a deeper level. However, the end goal is for us all to smell fantastic. So if you are a citrus lover, come along for the ride. These 8 fragrances that we're going to talk about today are the ones I'm really enjoying the most concerning this particular note. However, I have about 70 fragrances that have bergamot in it, and the majority of them you pick it up. Bergamot is a very loud, very beautiful, sometimes pulls a little spicy note, especially when paired with the bitter orange, and that is the bitter orangeness in it. Like I said, it's thought of as a hybrid between lemon and bitter orange. And again, as we saw in my blood orange video when I talked about Chanel Chan's Eau Vive, sometimes they come across a little spicy, even when there's no spice to be found in the notes. And that's what makes it cool. Bergamot also comes across sour to me. Not always tart, but sour. And there is a difference. There's a difference in the way that your mouth moves. Like when you're thinking tart, like a lemon, you're like, woo. But you think sour, you're like, what is this sour? See, your facial expressions are even different. First up from the House of Duo, we have Siski Femme. So this fragrance is super busy, and by that I mean there are a ton of notes in here. Guys, there's no way. I wouldn't try to memorize it if I could. You smell a lot of what they have posted, but I mean it's just too much. So head over to theduobrand.com if you want an extensive list of all of the notes. So there is bergamot in here. I love what it lends to this fragrance. I think it's amazing that I can even pick it out when there's so much going on in this fragrance, but it does just add that beautiful burst of energy and citrus. Now, it is also paired up with peach and grapefruit. I do believe mandarin orange. There's lily of the valley in here. There's African orange flower. There's freesia. There's rose de mai. There might be some toffee. There's violet and iris. There's patchouli. Listen, it's beautiful. If you like florals, if you like fruity, if you like citrus, and you don't mind a little bit of an earthiness undertone, this isn't a dirty patchouli, but it's that patchouli that reminds me of Chloe Nomad or the Parfum. But it's less noticeable because in Chloe Nomad, I get it. That patchouli is in my face 24/7. In this one, it's more like an afterthought, but it's just hanging out underneath there to never leave me feeling like I'm adrift. Like this is one that's going to connect you to like that mother earthness, that one with nature almost, because you get this beautiful blend of things that grow, like the African, all of it grows. Did I just say that? Whatever. But I mean like plants. Plants. So lily of the valley, and you get your African orange flower. You have your freesia, your violet, your iris. You know what I'm saying? And then you also have those fruits that grow. So you have the grapefruit, and you have peach as a fruit, and you have bergamot, like I was saying, and then you have your mandarin orange. So it just makes you feel like you're somewhere where the earth the ground, the soil is fertile and things are just beautiful. So the patchouli fits in because in this, the patchouli would be the soil that everything is growing from. So like when you're standing in the garden or you're standing in a place where there's a bunch of flowers growing around you, like the botanical garden and stuff like that, if they have not just put down fresh mulch, it's not the dirt that you smell. If you sit down on the ground close enough, you will pick up that sweet earth. Like you can tell that it's just beautiful. But usually when you're just standing up in the garden or walking past the garden, it is the vegetables or the fruits or the flowers that you're smelling. But because they smell so beautiful, you know they're planted in good earth. So I didn't even, that was deep. That was deep. That was like philosophical, right? Anyway, it's not that serious, guys. This is just me. I don't know how to be any other way. That's what I get from this though. It's that vibe where I feel like I want to be having a picnic while I'm doing this, or while I'm wearing I'm wearing this. This is the first one of the video, guys. Is this how this video is about to go? What are we doing? So while I'm wearing this, I like the idea of being outside and having a picnic, or I like the idea of going to the botanical gardens, just smelling like whatever my surroundings are going to be. Something very pretty and beautiful and definitely spring and summerish. So again, that is Siski Perfume from the House of Dua. Next up, we have a very inexpensive fragrance that smells so pretty. It's just a really pretty summer fragrance to me. Now, when I tried this in the fall and winter, it was too woody. Now in the heat, it comes alive for me, and it's pretty. So this is from Calvin Klein, and it's called CK Into You for Her. I love the clashiness of the bottle, like the glass down here and then this plastic. I love the cutouts for the CK Into You going all the way around. It's just, I don't know. It's something about it that's kind of gaudy, kind of weird, and I like that. So in here, it's going to open up with Sicilian bergamot and pink grapefruit. They're so pretty together. Lively, beautiful citrus notes. You also have cactus in here, which I thought was super cool. And I get it. If you've ever been around a cactus, if you grow them, if you have them, because they're the only thing you don't kill when it comes to plants, yeah, then you'll know what I mean, and you'll get the cactus in here. There's also some red currant leaf and orchid and vanilla. And I pick up more on the vanilla on my skin in the heat. So it keeps the woodiness from that loud red cedar in check. This is definitely one I would consider unisex. Like there are some men who would not mind wearing this. I think it's more feminine now that it's hotter outside, but it definitely pulled too woody for me in the fall. When it was cooler, yeah, I couldn't do it. So again, it's like 10 or 12 bucks though. So it's worth the risk in testing it out. And even if you don't like it, I'm pretty sure you could find someone in your life who would, and just make it a gift. But I do love the opening. It is the Sicilian bergamot and the grapefruit in this that is just beautiful. And they work really, really well with that red cedar. Again, in the heat. So again, CK Into You for Her by Calvin Klein. Next up, we have one from a house that I rarely talk about. And it's not for lack of liking it, because I actually own 4 or 5 fragrances from this line alone. This is from the House of Bulgari, and this is called Omnia Coral. So Omnia Coral for me is a very easy reach. Like this is a beautiful citrus fragrance that you just wear in high heat. I reach for it all the time, and I thought nothing of it. I saw a video from Curly Scents, Andrea from Curly Scents, where she had Anthony and Giacomo, I do believe, rating perfumes again. They raved about this. They thought it was sexy. Now that was interesting to me because I never picked up on sexy from this. To me, it was just pretty. It's citrus, which I love. It's slightly woody, which I'm okay with. Musk, one of my favorite notes ever. And goji berries, pomegranate, hibiscus, water lily. I like all of those things. So it's a very pretty fragrance. However, just keep that as a side note. Men tend to really like this as well. It's also not that expensive, but I think quite a few from the Omnia line are being discontinued. So I don't know how easy it is to find this anymore, but it is a keeper. I love the citrus burst you get from the bergamot right at the opening. It's one of my favorite parts of this. So again, that's Omnia Coral from Bulgari. This one is probably the greenest fragrance of them all on this list, but that opening bergamot burst of energy is unmistakable for me. There's green mandarin in this, there's lily in this, there's a lot in here, even some pear. But I'm telling you, the bergamot just sings on its own in that opening, and I love it. The way it blends with everything else is amazing. So I'm talking about none other than Versace Versense. Pretty, pretty, pretty citrus fragrance. I wore this to the zoo the other day for my son's 7th birthday. It saved me. I keep telling you guys, I even mentioned this in one of those tags that I did. We're talking about traveling to different places. I chose this one for the zoo. I mean what I say, and I will do it in reality. This saved me when we walked up in that penguin cove. I love it because it's air conditioned, but baby, them little things stink. I had my face all up in my shirt. I'm not even going to lie. So yes, this is Versace Versense, beautiful citrus, clean, slightly aquatic to me fragrance. I love it. Next up from the House of Guerlain, we have Mon Guerlain or the Toilette formulation. So this is the easy breezy, fresh, clean citrus version out of all of the flankers from this line. I love this one. It is not as heavy and thick and dense, but it still has that same DNA. It has the Tahitian vanilla, it has the jasmine sambac and the lavender. You're also going to get your mandarin orange in this. You have some orris. I do believe you might have some benzoin, some caramel, maybe some violet. Is there violet in here? Orange blossom. God, this smells so good. I was concerned about this one originally because I was like, what are we doing here? Do we really need a lighter version? Yes, yes, we did. The bergamot in this is amazing. That burst of citrus energy right at the top automatically just gives this a cleaner, more uplifting, whereas the eau de parfum and the intense and things like that are very warm and sexy and inviting and sensual. This is everyday easy breezy spring summer. You can wear this, you're going to smell amazing. You're going to smell super feminine, and it's just bright. It's just bright. This is what you wear to work all day, and then if you want to spritz on the EDP before you go out for drinks or dinner afterwards, that's how you do that. This is definitely just a beautiful citrus burst of Mon Guerlain. You know, I absolutely love this one. Next up, we have the beautiful Chloe Nomad. Now, the opening of this with that bergamot, rose, and freesia is very beautiful. The patchouli kicks in, and sometimes it becomes a little bit too much for me. So I do prefer the eau de toilette version of this, but I digress. The oak moss, I love oak moss, so it's amazing. And then it has also jasmine and sandalwood. But it is that opening burst of energy from the bergamot that drew me in originally to this fragrance. I absolutely loved it. And I do love the earthiness. I love the oak moss. I love the sandalwood. And I do like patchouli. I just wish there was just maybe a third less patchouli in this than what there is. Like, it pulls too much for me sometimes. But this video is about the bergamot. And for that, it hits a home run. I absolutely love the opening. I love the citrus burst. I love the lighthearted energy. All of that just vibes so well for me. And it's because of the bergamot in the opening. Next up, we have one from Elizabeth Arden. This is Green Tea Yuzu. What a tremendous burst of energy. The yuzu, the green tea, and the lemon and the bergamot all make for a fun time. No, seriously though, this has to be a happy fragrance. I smell this and instantly feel like everything has to be okay with my day and with my life. This is such a pick-me-up. And I know I did a happy fragrances video a few months back. I did not own this at that time because this would definitely be on there. This is energy, nothing but energy. Citrus, vibrant energy with that calm, cooling undertone from the green tea. This is Zen, this is meditation, this is yoga. This is just, I love this. Last but not least, we have a fragrance from the house of Atelier Cologne that I created with them. It is called Terra Michelle. Let me stop playing with y'all. No, it's not. That's just an engravable case. This is called Bergamot Soleil. So this is a beautiful Calabrian bergamot. This has bitter orange, which again, if you guys remember, as I told you, when they describe bergamot, they describe it as lemon meets bitter orange. So the burst of energy you get with this, a little bit of spice, little bit of spice from that bitter orange, with the Egyptian jasmine and oak moss. God, it's just so pretty. There are other notes in this. This is a very, it's not, I don't want to say super complex, but this is not just some simplistic linear situation that you're going to find yourself in. This is a beautiful citrus experience. This is something that I am so grateful I came across and I purchased. And again, my biggest problem with Atelier Cologne is the price. So for this 1 ounce, you're going to spend $80 unless you catch it on sale. Or have coupons or reward points. Here's the thing with them. Quality, you just can't find many to compare with them. I think that they are the best citrus house around. They just do it that well. But the longevity is not always there. With every last one of these from this line, I have to top up. It's not that some of them completely disappear. Other ones just become a skin scent, and I'm not a skin scent girl. So I will top up from Atelier Cologne every 3 to 4 hours. So for me, you shouldn't be charging $80 for 1 ounce. We're going to go through that 1 ounce a lot quicker because the longevity isn't necessarily there, or the projection after 3 or 4 hours. So that's my hang up with them. What I cannot deny is my fierce love for how they do citrus, bergamot, orange, mandarin orange. It doesn't matter. Lime, lemon. They are exquisite. As a house, as a pair, as a duo, I love everything about how they move that I know about so far, except the price. However, if you're using the best ingredients, then I guess that's what the price has to be. And that's what I smell when I'm dealing with these fragrances. And a lot of times from what people tell me, like when you deal with clean fragrances, a lot of them do not last that long because they're using natural ingredients, and therefore they will naturally run their course, on your skin, on your clothes. So maybe that's it. Maybe when you're doing high quality citruses, they're just not going to last that long without adding a whole bunch of stuff to make them last long that may not necessarily be good for people's skin. I don't know. What I can say is that I will keep purchasing them when they're on sale and using up my rewards points every time I make a purchase, because I just can't get enough of them. But I'm not mad at anyone who says the price is too steep. I do also get that side of it. So again, this is Bergamot Soleil from the House of Atelier Cologne. And that's all from my top 8 bergamot favorite fragrances at the current moment. This list could change tomorrow because again, it is hot as I don't know what outside, and I have way too many bergamot fragrances for me to actually have like favorites. I love them all. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, please do. I'd love to have you here. For those of you who have already subscribed, thank you so much for joining the Terror Squad. You know how we do it here. Please also click the like button and select the notification bell so that you do not miss any of my future uploads. Let's talk about these in the comments. I would like to know how many of you can tell the difference between lemon, lime, and bergamot. And if you can't, that's fine. I love that as well because again, the purpose of perfume is just to smell good. Sometimes we don't need all the details. When you want details, you come to me, right? So what are your favorite bergamot fragrances? Or if you only have one, do you have any in your collection? If not, are you going to look for one now? Did any of these pique your interest? You know how we do in the comments. So I will see you guys there. And until then, bye.